Hello. We all have already noticed that it's quite difficult to understand the whole bureaucracy here in this country, correct? So, of course, this is exactly the same for the most of the expats living in this country when it comes to understanding the whole social security system, like our pension system, nursery insurance, and this kind of stuff. Since the most of us do have the withdrawals in the payslips, we don't really have to figure that out, right? And in the end, you still have to face a certain problem. You probably have seen something like this. What you see here is a person which faces old age poverty, one of the biggest threats that we got in our country. This is something which you probably have already noticed. The reason for this problem is our demographic change. We got an aging population in Germany. That means people tend to live longer, and at the same time, we got a very low birth rate. And why does that affect you personally? If you did not even know right now, listen carefully. The payments that you pay in our social security system are going to be spent to the people who need it in the moment. Means, for example, you pay approximately 20% per month of your gross salary in a pension system, which is mandatory. But that money is not going to be saved or invested for you, but instead it's spent immediately for the people who need it right now. What does that mean to you? You maybe already answered this question. That means your retirement income depends on whoever and how many people are going to pay into that system once you are in retirement. In a Western civilization like Germany, that means that it is very, very likely that the amount that you are going to receive as a pensioner in Germany is going to be way below the amount that you would need to pay your cost of living in this country. Now you ask yourself, all right, what happens if I move out? What happens if I maybe retire in another country? Exactly the same problem, because in the moment, the average retirement income in Germany is 1,500 euros per month gross. Means in the future, once you are going to retire, that's going to be even less, because first, you got less people contributing into that system, and at the same time, you got more people who need money from that system. So that means, even though if you would decide to move into any other country in the future, the problem stays the same. Even more important, for you as an expat, you do not pay the duration which is considered normal. In regular scenarios, you have to invest approximately 40 years into that system, so from your 20s till your 60s as an example, so that you have the full capacity of 1,500 on average, which means if you came here after you graduated, you started working, let's say in the end of your 20s, in the early 30s, and you maybe move out of this country in the future again, the contribution period is even way shorter. Now we have seen there is a problem that we need to solve somehow. Everybody knows that. Still, the main question that you may have right now is, what are my chances? What can I do personally so that I can avoid this problem? And the answer is quite simple. Of course, you need to save some money for yourself. Now, there's various options on the market that you can go with. Of course, you can invest your money into any kind of funds, in ETFs, in stocks, in bonds. You can go crazy and invest the money in art or cars. But in the end, we also have to consider security. Because it's not just about how much profit you would gain during the next years in your investment, but also how secure it is. So do you have a certain guarantee that the money is there when you retire, when you need it? And second important topic, somehow we need to avoid the taxation. Of course, you know already that in Germany, for example, you have to pay capital gain tax on profits. The good thing here is also the German governance knows about that problem. That means that we got the tax authorities incentivizing us to invest money for ourselves for our future. How do they do that? Quite simple. We can save taxes with certain investment products. So when you go for a qualified pension plan investment, where you still can invest your money due to ETFs, for example, you can avoid the capital gain taxes on the profits that you have in this investment. Long story short, there's a huge problem that we all need to solve. If you would like to be able to provide yourself and your family with a stable income once you're retired, you need to take action. Let us know how you think about that problem, share it in the comments, and reach out to us.